Suck it, you shit.
Super moist. But you're watching Fugitive Red Eye, and this is another movie you probably never fucking heard of. And today we'll be talking about Inside, which, is it the 2006 movie? 2007? I think it's 2006, okay. And this is an interesting movie that Corbin here was telling me about for, like, ever. But originally when he told me about it, he didn't remember the title. He called it Buried, I think, because of what happens towards the end of the movie. Also, this case is a major spoiler. And so this movie is one we watched together for movie night. And it started out kind of slow. It's originally about this guy who's kind of like a creepy stalker that's like just like to follow people around and observe them so he can see what real humans are like and be a real boy.
Yeah, the beginning's kind of pretentious.
Yeah, the beginning's really fucking pretentious. And there's this girl that's like quirky and different for the sake of being quirky and different. And she's the worst character in the movie.
Yeah. She's not even really good towards the end. She's kind of awful.
Yeah. Her name's like Josie, I think. I don't remember. What's the main character? The main character's name is Alex, right? Yeah, it's
Alex. Josie. It was like Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah, Josie and the Pussycats. And then Alex is the main character, but anyway, so he starts like stalking this couple, and like he goes to their house and like goes inside, but instead of like freaking the fuck out because there's some guy in their house, they're like, wait a minute, this guy looks exactly like our son. He's like the same actor. So they're like, oh look, we should let him stay because he looks exactly like our son. And he's like, you know, searching for attention, and we kept making the joke in the movie that he had like an Oedipus complex and wanted to like role play with the mom character.
Yeah. I mean, it really feels like you're watching it. Honestly.
Yeah, there's a lot of sexual tension throughout the movie, it feels like.
Yeah. Like at any moment he's gonna be like that. This isn't a bathtub.
He mentions to the characters, to the parents, the couple. He mentions to the couple that he doesn't remember his own parents, right? And they're like, "Oh, this is a sign from Jesus himself, who was hanged from the fir tree, which is why we celebrate Christmas." They say, you know, this is a message from Jesus Christ himself that our son is back. It's him. It's really him, boys. So they actually believe that he is their son. That he's not just, you know, a dead ringer for their son. He is their fucking son. And they start to believe this. And he gets really uncomfortable with that, and he tries to fucking leave. And he gets hit by a car, and then just conveniently happens to get wounded in the exact same way their son was crippled.
Yeah, they're the type of Christian that doesn't believe in like actual like medicine.
Yeah.
Right.
Some like I believe they are like shown to be like, I think it's called Christian Scientists. I don't remember if that's what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the type of people who don't believe in seeking medical attention, instead they believe in healing through like prayer only, which is really dangerous to your health. So they're like, we can treat your wounds ourselves, you know, and so like they're like, you know, because it went so well with our actual son who's dead and may or may not be buried in the backyard, foreshadowing, but
yeah, I don't understand why they're still giving that a chance. It didn't work.
But yeah, they're just like, he used to like they show this spot in the garden where they're like, yeah, this used to be where he would plant the flowers, and it's like, I remember I asked Corbin, like, as that scene, like, he's fucking buried there, isn't he? And Corbin's like, maybe.
I really didn't know if he was or not.
He was, though.
Yeah.
And gotta say, as soon as he gets like taken in by the couple and they're like treating his wounds, the movie becomes fucking great. Like,
yeah, it really is good.
It gets like more and more intense as it goes on. It's really claustrophobic. It's kind of like Misery, where he's just like trapped with them. And
well, I think it's definitely inspired by Misery, I think.
I could see that. Yeah, I definitely think that could be a possibility. But they start telling him, no, you are...
I think it's better.
I don't know if I like it better than Misery. I think that's a tough one. I don't
know. I got more enjoyment than Misery.
I think it was more intense than Misery.
Yeah. I honestly felt like a bigger emotional connection to the mother in this movie than I did with the villain of Misery.
Yeah, I could see that. And like the father in this is like, you can kind of tell he knows that what they're doing is wrong and that he doesn't actually believe it, but he's in denial. So, like he's in denial.
He wants to believe it.
Yeah, he wants to believe it. So, and then they get this psychologist to come out to help, get him back to his true self. And as far as everyone knows, because nobody knows that their son is dead. And so the psychologist is saying, no, you are Timmy. You are their son. And he's telling him that he is and telling him he needs to, like, act like it. And telling the mother that she needs to be firm with him, which she takes to a whole new fucking level and starts, like, breaking shit and being very abusive and, like, tying him to the bed and shit.
Say the thing.
I don't need this shit, you stupid, abusive, sadistic fucking whore. Do you want to see how it feels, Mommy? Here it comes, get ready to die!
Yeah.
So she, like, ties him to the bed and, like, won't let him, like, eat at one point. Like, she makes him watch, like, a movie over and over again until he can remember the title of the movie for, like, several days.
Yeah, it was like the most boring, crappy movie ever.
Yeah. But apparently it was Timmy's favorite movie.
Yeah. And, like, at this beginning of it, it's always, like, there's, like, calm people talk. I can't remember what it was they were saying, but they played the same line over and over.
Yeah. Where it's like, this is your new substitute teacher or whatever. I don't fucking know what it was.
It is honestly it is scary to think about being in that situation, the same situation he's in though.
Yeah, you're like tied to a fucking bed, forced to watch this boring ass movie for several days without food or water or restroom breaks.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
And then there's honestly, like, I never thought that like a blowing out candle scene would have been scary for me, but like a scene with the cake though. Where they're like, which slice do you want? And he's like actually like getting nervous. He doesn't know what the decide, but
he's like, oh, I'll take the whole thing, and takes a bite.
Yeah.
Which, hey, I mean, it worked.
It's like because the movie becomes scary because you genuinely like the whole time like are they gonna?
You're constantly wondering if they're gonna take it too far and like accidentally like kill him.
Yeah.
And then later on in the movie, he's running away and like trying to escape, and he like trips and he hits his head and bleeds in the exact same spot that their son hit his head and bleed. Again, a lot of conveniences in this movie, I do gotta say. Because also the psychologist that he talked to earlier in the movie is actually Josie's father, and like she finds the files because she's also conveniently a kleptomaniac. So she steals the files and sees that it's Alex, and then she goes and rescues him.
Do you think these conveniences are like intentional? There's some sort of connection between all these things, or do you think it's just bad writing?
A little bit of both, I think. Because I mean, conveniences like that can happen in the real world. There's a lot of bad shit. Like there's a lot of crazy shit that happens. It's like a friend of mine calls it the universe has bad writing. So there's a lot of shit that is like, okay, fair enough. I think I can put up with the conveniences because I think the movie's intense enough to warrant it.
What I was trying to say though is the suspense of the movie is constantly. You never know if he's going to say the wrong thing and if he's going to slip up too much to where they're going to get real mad at him
and like abuse him or tie him up or like
it's always. It's like it feels like a pointless situation. Like it feels like no matter what, he's gonna say the wrong thing.
Yeah. Goddamn, did she take it too far when they said firm? I mean, shit. Like I remember there's a scene where he's like trying to like plant flowers in the garden, and every time he plants something in the wrong spot, she'll like break some glass. And I think she cuts herself on it.
Good scene.
Yeah, that was a really good scene.
Yeah, that might be actually the best scene in the movie.
That's a good one. Also, he does get buried alive in the coffin in the garden after he hits his head because they think he's dead. And so he gets buried alive, and then Josie comes in. Conveniently, he wasn't underground too long, so she's able to dig him up. And she can hear him through the dirt, I guess, because they buried... And also, very conveniently, they did not bury him very deep. It's just like under one layer of fucking dirt.
He probably could have got out of that, honestly, if he tried hard enough.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the coffin had like a latch on it or something.
He could have Kill Bill his way out of there. It looked so easy in Kill Bill.
But yeah, no, that looked terrifying. Genuinely a great movie. I think the beginning of it's a little slow and takes some getting used to, but
I like that it progressively becomes more and more claustrophobic to the point where he's literally in a coffin underground.
Yeah.
I really like that.
I don't really care for Josie, and I think some of the pretentious dialogue kind of towards the beginning is a little lame, but I think otherwise it's a great movie.
Yeah, like right after like the family is introduced, the movie becomes like as soon as he's with the family, it's a great movie.
Yeah, but yeah, very fun movie. I would highly recommend it, and it's a movie you've probably never fucking heard of.
Ha! What the fuck?
You made a reservation under the King of the Swing?
Yeah, of course, my horse.